This video will discuss AutoCAD organization and customizations. This video will cover project folder structure, AutoCAD interface organization, Genesis common customizations, and Genesis departmental customizations. Let's begin. We'll start with discussing how our projects are organized on the network. All projects are stored on the P drive. They are organized first by year. The next level is client, named for the company who we are directly working for. For instance, we may be designing a building for Janssen Pharmaceuticals, but we may have been hired by an architectural firm like Bergman. This project, for instance, is a Janssen building, but it is in the Bergman folder. The next level is the project folder itself. Project folders contain the 5 to 7 digit project number and the project name. Within the project folder are a standard set of subfolders. This folder structure was updated in 2022. I'm going to start with the newer structure and then show you the old structure. The important folder names are similar, so they should be easy to find in both folder structures. In our current folder structure, you will see a series of folders with abbreviations. For AutoCAD, we are interested in the AE folder, which stands for Architecture and Engineering. Within the AE folder are a series of numbered folders. In this video, I am only going to discuss the folders directly relevant to AutoCAD. The One Issues folder is for official project issues. Only drawings that have an issue in the Issues area of the title block belong in the Issues folder. Within the Issues folder, you will find a series of folders with a date and dash and an issue name. If you need to make a new issue, there is a template folder you can copy and rename. Within each issue folder is a series of folders for the various disciplines of Genesis. When you issue your drawings, place the drawings in the appropriate discipline folder. Within each discipline folder are two subfolders, DWG and PDF. Bound or archived DWGs go in the DWG folder. PDFs go in the PDF folder. When creating PDFs for issue, always create a joined PDF and individual PDFs for each sheet. When you create your PDFs, you also need to copy those files into the stick set folder in the main issues directory. This folder should have the most up-to-date version of each sheet from each discipline. Do not duplicate sheets. Simply overwrite the previous version of each sheet with the newest. Going back up to the AE folder, we're going to look at 6 owner data. The owner data folder is for drawing information coming into the company from the building owner. In owner data, you can see another template folder. When you receive data from an owner, copy this folder and edit its name appropriately. Next is the 7 consultants folder. The consultants folder is the only two-way folder I will be discussing. It is for coordinating with outside consultants. Within the folder is a series of typical consultant types. If you receive information from an outside consultant, choose the consultant type that fits your source, then copy the template folder and rename it with today's date and a description. Likewise, if you need to send out information to a consultant that is not an official issue, copy a template folder and give it today's date and a description. I like to include the words incoming or outgoing in my folder descriptions for clarity. If you send AutoCAD files out of the office to a consultant, you must first obtain an electronic release form from them. The release form is found on the AE Ops section of the portal. Simply download the file, fill it out, and send it to the consultant. When it is returned, place it in the PM8 electronic release forms folder for the project. Next is 12-point coordination folder. The coordination folder is for in-house coordination. Like the other folders, simply copy the template and rename it appropriately. The last folder in AE we will discuss is the 2-point DWGs folder. This is where the AutoCAD, Navisworks, and Revit files are stored. AutoCAD files are found in the CAD folder. Within the CAD folder are two subfolders, Resource Files and Sheets. Resource Files refer to any AutoCAD drawing that is to be referenced into another, whether it is a background, title block, or complicated schematic. Within the Resource Files folder, you will see a series of subfolders, one for each discipline, except Architecture, who works exclusively in Revit. There is also a Sketches folder for any sketches associated with the project. Because Architecture works exclusively in Revit, the Revit files are exported to AutoCAD by the project's BIM coordinator and saved in the parent Resource Files folder. Sheets refers to the AutoCAD drawings that are printed. Within the Sheets folder is another set of discipline folders matching Resource Files. Also contained in this folder is the sheet set file itself, which has the file extension DST. Now let's take a look at the old folder structure. The old folder structure is very similar, only some of the names have been shortened and the folder order moved around. When you open the project folder, rather than the abbreviated subsections, you will see a series of folders prefixed with letters. AutoCAD and associated files are saved in the JDWGs folder. Within the JDWGs folder, you will find the folders we discussed earlier. The J.01 Issues folder is for issues. The J.04 Outside Consultant folder is for incoming or outgoing consultant files. The J.05 Owner folder is for files coming in from the owner. The J06 Coordination folder is for in-house coordination. Finally, the project's AutoCAD files are found in the J.02 CAD folder. Within that folder, you will find the Resource Files and Sheets folders, just like in the new folder structure. Now that we understand the project folder structure, let's open AutoCAD. First, I would like to go over how AutoCAD's interface is organized. AutoCAD is organized into several areas. There's the drawing window, where you do your drafting. Then there are the peripheral support areas. I will be referring to each of these areas as we go, so I'd like to lay them out for you. Starting at the top are the quick access buttons. The next row down are the traditional menu flyouts. This large horizontal section is referred to as the ribbon. This row of tabs is called the file tabs. There is one tab for each drawing you have open. Then, this row of small buttons are called toolbars. Pinned to the sides of the drawing window, you will find palettes. At the bottom of the drawing window, or following along with your cursor, you will find the command line, where AutoCAD commands can be typed directly. Then there are the layout tabs, showing you model space and any paper space layouts in the drawing. Lastly, there is the status bar. Genesis customizations utilize nearly all of these areas, so it is good to be familiar with their names. The BIM team tries hard to take the tedium and repetition out of using AutoCAD so that you can focus on design and engineering. We have made many custom menus, palettes, and programs to make your life easier. These various tools are organized into common and discipline-specific sets. The common set of tools has items needed by every discipline in the company. There is a common menu, ribbon, and palette. Each of these contains slightly different things. For instance, you can set your drawing scales by going here or here. Once the scale is set, any blocks inserted in the drawing via the Genesis customizations will come in at the appropriate size. You can also find XREF tools, drawing cleanup tools, common layers, design status, common blocks like notes and tags. There are lots of commands here to help you. The common palette is your main source for common blocks. Common blocks are blocks used by all disciplines. Any block with a lightning bolt icon indicates that it is a dynamic block. Dynamic blocks have additional view settings that can be accessed once the block is inserted. In addition to the common tools, we have discipline-specific tools. I do not have time to go through them all in detail, but I'll touch on each one briefly. For mechanical, there is a ribbon and a palette and two menus. The palette contains blocks for valves, etc., as well as ductwork creation tools. Valve blocks have a wipeout in them that blocks the pipe behind them. They will also align to the pipe you place them on. When a block is inserted, it comes in at the right scale, but a default layer. For electrical, there is a menu and a palette. The palette contains blocks for lighting, power, systems, single lines, etc. Notice when a block is inserted, it comes in on the right scale and layer. Changing the design status in the common menu will change the layers the blocks are inserted on. For plumbing, there is a ribbon and a palette. The palette contains blocks for fittings, valves, fire protection, etc. Plumbing blocks will align to the line you place them on. Plumbing blocks use annotative scaling, which means the size of the blocks and text changes dynamically when the scale changes. Annotative scaling is controlled by this setting. Plumbing blocks have a wipeout in them that blocks the pipe behind them. Their layers must be set manually. Fire protection. For fire protection, there is a ribbon and a palette. The palette contains blocks for fittings, valves, etc. Fire protection blocks use annotative scaling, which is controlled by this setting. Annotative scaling means the size of the blocks and text changes dynamically when the scale changes. Fire protection blocks have a wipeout in them that blocks the pipe behind them. Their layers must be set manually. Process utilities. Process utilities does not have its own customizations, but utilizes the layers and blocks of other disciplines. P&ID. For P&ID, there is a ribbon. P&ID blocks break the line they are inserted on. Their layers must be set manually. This is just a brief introduction to the Genesis customizations. Refer to the Genesis standards for more information. Additionally, each discipline has a CAD lead to help you learn the customizations. And of course, the BIM team is always available to help you if you need assistance.